Hey everyone, Leon here. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm doing great. I hope you are all too. Or had a hard time spitting that one out. Well, anyhow, continuing and hopefully finishing military career part three tonight. And as I said, left off yesterday, we sailed from Pearl Harbor to Subic Bay, from Subic Bay to Vietnam. And during that time, I was learning to do my job, and I got a crash course on it because, I worked with three Filipinos. Two of them supposedly came off aircraft carrier. As I mentioned, our ship was not very stable when we went to sea, and that our stabilizers never worked. When they did, we were surprised, and nobody how many times we had it fixed while I was on the ship. They every time we went out to sea, they didn't work. Um, So what I found out is that when we went to sea, it was just me and my chief petty officer. The other two were always too seasick to do any work, um, and I never got seasick, and not one time. And no matter how rough the ship rolled or that. The one thing that made me glad being on the ship and that I had a bottom bunk is when we did hit rough seas, we had this is funny as heck. But we had one guy on the top bunk that always got thrown out of his bunk. So if you can imagine, a top bunk was about 6 feet tall. So you're sound asleep, and all of a sudden you get a hard steel floor, which would wake up the guy, it would wake up me and the guy across from me, and finally we ended up tying the guy into his bunk and that, so he wouldn't be falling out of his bed every time. Um, So anyhow, yeah, we got to Vietnam, and for me it was quite boring. I got thrown onto a firefighting detail, and which meant that other than meal times when I had to go cook and that, I sat in the front hold and we twiddled our thumbs and made faces at each other. Um, During that time, and that though, after about a month there doing that, somebody came on board and was asking for volunteers. I raised my hand because I was bored. And I ended up in the Brownwater Navy, doing river patrols um, in jet boats and that. It was rather interesting and rather dangerous because sometimes we didn't know who was shooting at us and where they were shooting from. Um, finished, spent 6 months doing that. Got done after my 6 months. I went back to my ship, and it was kind of funny because the officers I worked for that just looked at me as a green rookie looked at me a whole different way after that. Treated me with a little bit more respect, as much respect as an officer can treat an enlisted man. Uh, when I got back, I was made it to second class petty officer, and within 6 months, I was back down to E2. Uh, I guess I was not a very good fit for the Navy. So, but anyhow, when we got back to Pearl Harbor, man, duty was great. I ended up bunking up with three other guys off my ship and four girls. We had a house up by Diamond Head, and it was really nice because one of our roommates, he was a cook and he was um, in charge of the food and that. So we always ate good, because we always raided the ship's refrigerators and freezers. Um, and my duty when we were on shore like that was. One week I'd work Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and be off completely Tuesday, Wednesday. And the next week I'd be off Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So gave me a lot of time to explore the islands and that, which we did. Uh, I was got to spend a year and a half on Pearl Harbor. We did go out to sea quite a bit because our ship was fitted with, like one of the first rubber sonar domes. So we had to, we went out and had to do a lot of testing with that. Um, got discharged when we got a couple of the officers were good enough in that, worked with me and got me early discharge after 3 years. And so I got discharged in San Diego. And because we were there, you know, we sailed for San Diego, and that when we got there, they had everything finalized, and that's where I got let go. Um, so that's about it for my Navy career. As you know, as much as I'm going to divulge anyhow, it was interesting. It was um, would I do it again? You bet. I served my country. I'm very proud of doing that. Very proud to be a Vietnam veteran, and that's all I got to say on that. So tomorrow we'll continue on from the time I was got home, which was I was 21 or that, and we'll talk to you later. Have a great night.